Hello.
Hello, ladies.
Hi. How are you guys?
How are we?
Awesome. I'm
Good.
Hey everyone,
What's up, Brian?
how are you?
You shaved for this one, huh?
Good. Yeah, I did it for the 45th birthday. Take a few years off.
Ooh.
Wait.
Amazing what white hair on your face will do to your perceived age.
Can't you bleach it?
I don't. Well, I mean, if it's white, it's already white.
Okay. Well, I was thinking more fake blonde like I have.
Oh yeah, I used to. So like when I was in my adolescent years and like acne was like at its height, I would use peroxide on my face at night. But then I got these like cool blonde highlights that I didn't know why I was getting them until I finally connected the dots. But
Oh, it's classic.
You started the trend before it was a trend.
I know, right? And I'm still ugly.
Stop it.
Just kidding, bro. How are you all today?
Good. It's almost Friday. Yep.
That's right.
Makes me happy. Memorial Day weekend.
Have you guys been able to get post quarantine pandemic, get a grip back on what day it is?
Nope. No.
Cool, me neither.
No. I have no
Even
clue.
before quarantine, I didn't know what day it was.
Good
Doesn't
point.
matter.
Living
true.
in an island time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no distinction between fall and summer and winter and Tuesday and Wednesday.
There's just wet and dry.
Yes. Yes. Windy, not windy.
Now, when you said it's almost Friday, I was like, wait, isn't it Monday?
It's Friday.
I know. I've been off the past 3 days, so tomorrow's my Monday. I'm like, whoa.
Oh, happy Sunday night.
Cool. We've got a few people that are signed up still to join. Do you guys know Amy Inman? Or I don't know who this person is, SC Cortez?
I think I know. I don't know.
Amy Inman rings a bell, but
Yeah.
and then Giorgio usually joins us too.
Yeah.
Amy Inman from Michigan?
Let's see.
Well, if they join, they can jump in, and if not, we'll hog all the fun ourselves.
That's what we do.
Fun hogs, as my dad would say, a fun sponge, sucking it up.
Fun.
Fun.
I like that.
That's what we're good at.
You're very good at that, Brian. I've started with you a couple times.
Here you go. It's but usually isn't it more laughing at than laughing with?
Yeah.
Definitely.
No.
Always with.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Well, so glad you could join us, Em. And Chelsea, thank you so much for leading us today. I can't believe we're in our last week and I haven't gotten this down yet, but Rima, are you doing the kickoff or am I doing the kickoff?
I can do the kickoff. We're not doing the word search anymore, right? We're doing. You might have to take that part. I don't remember what we're doing now.
We are. This is our last week of the Watch to Win. So I have to look up what our word is for this class.
I can look it up.
I'm almost there.
Oh, okay.
I just have way too many tabs open.
Me too. I keep getting like tabs and like 3 pages, and I'm like, why am I the way that I am? And I leave them open and I never shut them.
Right, right.
But then you can't shut them because they're important, and then you'll never see them again if you shut them.
Exactly.
Yep.
Last night during our board meeting, I had 2 different computers going and I kept using the wrong mouse pad to try and, I'm like, why isn't it doing? And I'm like, oh, wait.
That's funny.
Yeah, I got to stick to one computer. I can hardly handle that.
Mm.
So I do have the word ready that we'll do at the end of the class. I'm going to start our Facebook live stream, and then I'll do the quick STROLO-University intro. Or no, you're going to do that. And while you're doing that, I'll share our sponsor thank you page. And then we'll kick it off. And at the very end, we'll stop Facebook Live. For anyone that's on the call, we'll do the word of the day or the word of the class. So this week we're doing a phrase rather than letters to build a word. We've got multiple words to build a phrase. And whoever gets the phrase complete, first 3 people to get the phrase complete will get, I think it's $150 Amazon gift card this week.
Oh.
So we'll see. We'll see who tracks it. But all right, let me get live on Facebook.
And I'll have to pop out at the 45 mark just to go teach my other class. But if you guys want to keep it going after, feel free.
No worries.
At all.
Okay, everybody good to start going live?
Yep. Just say when.
All right, I hit the button. All right, we are live.
All right. Well, thank you, Chelsea, and thank you, Emily, who is new to this class, for joining us today. And welcome to everyone to STROLO University. STROLO U was created at the start of COVID pandemic as a way to offer both physical and mental activities and classes to help benefit the cystic fibrosis community through the difficult months while we isolated at home. The CFLF expanded this program with a new spring and fall semester this year, adding brand new classes and incorporating more educational and informative classes to the mix. The CFLF would like to thank all individual supporters and the STROLO U instructors for their participation in making STROLO University a positive resource and experience for people with CF. We hope you enjoyed today's class. Please keep checking our website at cflf.org/STROLO-U and our Facebook page with more class updates. We have registration available for classes 2 weeks at a time, so keep checking back for new classes being added throughout the semester. And yeah, thank you for being here for our positivity and awareness class.
Anything from you, Brian or Emily?
It's all you, Chelsea.
Power forward. Let's go. Positivity.
I
That's the end
just
of the
said
class.
everything I had to say on mute, so sorry you guys missed it.
I bet it was gold.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Chelsea, for leading this series for us. And this is our last week of this STROLO University for this semester.
Oh, yes, yes, it is.
So we're hoping that we can have everybody rejoin us in October, November. We'll be launching our fall semester. We're totally open to ideas for series focuses and topics of classes within those series. So please send any suggestions to info@cflf.org with the subject STROLO University, and we will take your suggestions. So with that, Chelsea, thank you again for leading today. I'll hand it over to you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Brian, Rima, and Emily for all coming. And thank you to everyone on the recording. Obviously, sometimes our times just don't work out, but I know plenty of people watch these on the recording. So thank you for taking the time out. It is our last week, sad. But this week we're going to end with hopefully an uplifting, what we've kind of been doing, like a little bit of a discussion, meditation, and some journaling prompts. So make sure you have a book or a notepad or a sticky note or your phone, whatever you'd like to just jot some notes down or just write down the questions, think about them later. Feel free. This is very relaxed setting, so do whatever you'd like to do. But we've gone through a few things these past few weeks. So I wanted to first just take a moment, maybe close the eyes for a second and just take a breath as we start. So maybe you were running into this class, or maybe you were doing something right before you popped on this video. So just closing the eyes and taking a moment to settle in. Taking a moment to arrive here. Maybe noticing the breath. Maybe noticing the shoulders drop away from the ears. Noticing the breath begin to get a little deeper as we begin to relax. Maybe with your next exhale, you let out a sigh. Just fully arriving here. Maybe you have a to-do list or a list of things that still haven't been done yet. Maybe just letting that sit outside of the brain for right now. But if you came here, you came here to take a breather, to take a pause out of your day. So honoring that commitment to yourself by fully arriving here in class, fully arriving into this space, and taking another deep breath in, fully letting that go. Now that the heart rate, the respiration rate has all slowed down, we've all had a chance to come into our virtual room. You can blink the eyes open. And now don't we all feel so much better, right? Well, now that we have arrived here, guys, we are going to be doing a class about the impact of mentality. We all live with this disease every day, and it can have such a hard impact on our mental state, on our ability or our perception of our abilities throughout our lives. So I want to focus today with starting on a story. So one of the best stories I heard about the idea of how much your mental outlook can change your life is this story about one of the very successful magazine entrepreneurs in the world. So he was giving a talk as an adult about his successful business, and they asked him how this all began. And he was the son of a single mother. He was failing out of school, and he had promised his mother one thing, that he would do the SAT test his senior year. So he's like, all right, I've promised you to do this, I'll do this. And so he does the SAT test to appease his mother, and he gets his score back. And back then it was at 1600, and he got a 1460. So almost a perfect score. And he had been failing out of school. He's like, wow, that's crazy. I'm actually smart. I had no idea about this. So from that test score, he started embodying that. And wow, if that's really what my brain is capable of, I can do so much more. He started applying himself. He got his GRE, went to college, became this amazingly successful magazine entrepreneur. And then comes to find out, years after he had graduated college, that they sent him a letter. And that year was the year where they got 13 scores wrong. And he did not get a 1460. He actually got a 480. So they had sent him the wrong test score, but because he was given this test score, it completely changed who he thought he was. He wasn't this 1460 before or after, but it was this different mentality that he took on his life. He believed so much more in himself and in his abilities. Whereas I guarantee you, if he had gotten the score that he actually earned, nothing would have changed. It's so much more important in believing in ourselves than our actual abilities, because when we believe in ourselves, or even have someone around us that believes that much in us, it can change our whole life. So from that story, I really want to talk about the I can't mentality, and trickling into through the world of CF. I think so much of our lives came from Googling, came from encyclopedias, learning about this disease in the statistical sense, rather than the lifestyle sense. So from early ages, we were told that we can't do this, we can't do that. We internalized a lot of people's fears, internalized our parents' fears, our parents' worries. My child can't run, or they can't go to college, they can't have a family or have a job. There's so many things that were based out of fear. They weren't based out of fact. Back in when CF was founded, there was no real basis to base anything, whether they can or can't, off of. So many of these fears created these false narratives. And I think generationally, we've internalized a lot of this, both from our parents' worries and also society, of being an invisible illness, having a chronic illness, immediately feeling less than, feeling that we are lacking, that there is something that we're missing that doesn't make us a fully capable person. So I really want us to focus today and maybe start to internalize the word can't. I know in a past class I said that we should become allergic to the word should, which I hope we all are. And now we're going to also add to the list, we are going to be allergic to the words I can't. So there's so many things that you can replace that phrase with, I can't. You can replace it with, I have never tried. You can replace it with, I haven't been able to do that before. Or I'm scared to try. I would like to learn how to. There's so many words that you can replace that word I can't with that will be empowering. They will be engaging. They will be motivating rather than disempowering and trying to make us feel less than. So I think one of the quotes, if you have been in a few of my classes, I'm a big lover of quotes. One of my quotes that I love about this is, it's not who you think you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. So trying to really embody, I think so many of us within the community embody and internalize so much of what we cannot do rather than what we can do. And it's simply that shift of perspective. Like I said, that man who had his score, his perspective shifted so fast of being that failing student and not seeing him as successful or an achiever. And all of a sudden it took one thing for them to be like, wow, you know what? Maybe I can do that. Maybe I am smart. Maybe I am an achiever. And I really want us to spend some time today reliving and rewording those narratives. So the things that we say we can't do, rewording them and reworking them for how they sit a little bit better in ourselves. There are things that we resonate with. There are things that we don't resonate with. And I know a lot of us, when we say we can't do something, that doesn't feel good in the body. It doesn't feel empowering. It doesn't feel even good coming out of the mouth. Oh, I can't do that. Because immediately it creates a block in our mind. I know there were plenty of things that I've thought of for my whole life I can't do, and I hadn't tried. It was this internal fear of what if I tried? Like it's scary to do something you've never done before. Even in the CF world, I know I'd spoken about before my disdain, sorry, Emily, for running. I just couldn't run. And it took me years of me being like, nah, can't do that. Crappy lungs. Can't. And finally I was like, okay, I'll try it. And I'm not a marathoner, but I can run. If you have 2 feet and 2 legs, you can do it. Unless you are physically unable, there's plenty of things in the world that we can do. But it's the big block in our mind of whether we do it or we just put it to the side in that box that we're never going to touch it again. So I want us today, as we get into the meditation, to think of those empowering words, those motivating words, those energetic words that we want to start trickling into our lives a little bit more. Like I even said, I've never been able to, or I've never tried. Those are very true statements instead of I can't. I can't usually is a false statement, because whether you have tried it and not been able to do it, that doesn't mean you can't. That means you couldn't at the time. So there's always room for progression. There's always room for improvement. And I think I really want to get that to our CF members of, we can do it. It takes determination. And we all are so strong and determined, resilient. And if there's something that you want to do, maybe you are not able to do it today, but you will be able to do it with practice and determination and motivation. So with all of that, I know I talk too much, but it's okay. We'll be here for a little bit longer with me talking. But let me close our eyes. We'll take a little break here. Just like how we start, I want you to close your eyes, find a comfy space, find a comfy seat, drop those shoulders away from the ears. Comfortable seat can be whatever is to you. Maybe you're laying down, maybe you're sitting in a chair, whatever is comfortable to you. Taking a deep breath in, letting it go. Beginning to arrive here, arrive in this space, and taking a survey, an inventory of the body right now. How does the body feel in this moment? Are there any aches or pains that is popping up as you do this survey? Maybe go survey the body. Maybe pay attention to the feet first, and then the ankles. Surveying the calves and the knees. Taking an inventory of those thighs, pelvis, the belly, low back, the spinal column, the chest, giving a survey of how that chest area is doing today, the ribs, the shoulder blades. How is everything moving in the chest today? Does it feel stiff or loose? Again, we're just doing an inventory, seeing how the body's doing. How about the shoulders and the biceps, triceps, forearms, hands, palms, and slowly surveying, trickling back up the arms to the back of the neck. Is there anything in the head that needs surveying? Does the back of the neck and the head feel good? Maybe there's a headache or something going on. Just taking a survey. How about the face? The teeth even, the nose, the eyes. At one point, almost like you're zooming out a camera, take a glance at the whole body at once. How does the whole body feel in this moment? Again, the whole body. And beginning to tap into the heart space, that place in between the lungs, underneath the sternum, the place where all of our hopes and our dreams come from. Feeling into this space. Notice as we breathe, it feels like it gets bigger. And as we exhale, it has a little more ease. In this space, finding a moment in your life. We all have those moments that we tuck away in the back of the mind. A moment that you stuck with, that stuck with you. A moment where someone said to you that you couldn't do something. I remember mine was at a teenage years, I was told that, well, no, you could never have a family or a job. Just those two tiny things, that one little word, you can't. What were you told that you really stuck hold of? you kept with you in the back of your mind that you were told you couldn't do. And taking a breath and feeling what that feels like in the body right now. Feeling maybe you were a young child, or maybe you didn't have the resources at the time to understand what they were saying, but you knew what the word "I can't" meant. You knew how you felt limited. Maybe going back into that moment and seeing that version of yourself, that moment that stuck with you, and almost as if you were talking to a younger version of yourself. Go there as you are today, seeing that little version of yourself. Give that version, that younger version, advice. Tell them what you know now about your life and yourself. Tell them what you wish that person had told you instead of creating a limiting belief. If it feels right, maybe giving that younger version of yourself a gentle hug, embrace. Either telling them encouraging thoughts, telling them what you have done, or telling them your new belief about what that person said. And as you say this to this younger version of yourself, say it out loud to yourself if it feels right. Say, change that word from "I can't" to, for me, I can have a family one day. I have the ability to have a job. I am an asset to so many people. Saying whatever version of that resonates with you and your limiting belief that was said to you. What can you do? Then gently letting go of that little person, letting them go, and watching that little piece drift away, that little "I can't" piece fall to the ground as if it was a piece of paper. And watch it as if an ember fell right on top of it. Watch it begin to spark and gently burn like a tiny campfire, erasing from that tiny version of yourself. There's so many things in this world that we wait to do because of these limiting beliefs. The best thing that I've been told is there's no reason to wait until tomorrow to try. Because in a year from now, what do you wish you had started today? Starting is the hardest part. Getting over that "I can't" mentality is the hardest part. So what, in a year from now, what would you like to have started today? Beginning to take a deep breath and let it go. With your next deep breath, think of one more of those limiting beliefs that we have. Breathe that in, let it go. 2 more deep breaths, just like that, thinking of that belief, that "I can't" mentality. When you exhale, purse your lips as if you're blowing through a straw. Last time, deep inhale when you're ready. And purse your lips and slowly exhale that air out. Feeling if the body feels any lighter right now, letting go of those beliefs. And it's so easy to become stuck under these I can't mentality. So in this moment, giving yourself a little grace, a little patience and love, that a lot of these narrations, these false narratives, were not created by you. It was not created by that little version of you. It was created by a lot of other people's interpretations of your abilities. And giving yourself a little bit of a break for a moment, saying it's okay that I have these beliefs. It's okay that I've internalized them. We all have them. It's okay. But maybe you're thinking of more things that have been said to you or that you say to yourself, and realizing how heavy of a burden that is to carry. Feeling the weight of all those assumptions that people have made about you and your abilities. How heavy is that to carry each day? Feeling maybe you were the only person who believed in yourself at times. Feeling so weighted under all of these beliefs that maybe it's too hard to try. Maybe it's easier to accept that you can't do something. But beginning slowly, like we have today, one by one, letting go, burning these I can't beliefs. They did serve us and they were with us for so long. But if you're ready, you can slowly start to let them go. Let go of the weight. Let them drip off of the shoulders. Maybe you're still holding on to beliefs from an early age that you have fully outgrown by now. But honoring that they did cause pain and they caused a lot of moments where you didn't believe in yourself. So they've been a part of you. And as you let them go, maybe thank them for allowing you the chance to overcome that limiting belief. Because now you know how much stronger you are than the assumptions that were made about you. You know how strong you are, how able you are, how beautiful you are. And either say it in your mind or out loud if you'd like. I am able to do anything. I am able to go after my dreams. I believe in myself. And I will not limit my ability with fear. Let that sink in. You are able. You can. You will. You are strong. Feeling that deep in that heart space that we started. Maybe it feels a little warm as we say these things to ourselves. Being that cheerleader, that inner best friend for ourselves. Dispelling all of these limiting beliefs and creating new ones, creating positive, motivating, and encouraging beliefs. Dispelling the word I can't from our vocabulary. Feeling into that heart space, so much energy, so much potential, where all these dreams and hopes are stored. Using this energy as you wish. It'll be here for when you need it to go after those dreams and hopes. But taking a deep breath in, letting it go. One more time, deep breath. And sigh it out. Maybe feeling a little lighter as we sit here. Maybe a little bit more of that weight has come off of the shoulders. And as you feel comfortable, slowly wiggling the toes and the fingers, deepening the breath. At your own pace, slowly beginning to blink those eyes open. We will find those pieces of paper, our notepad, our journal, or our phone that we'd like to do some journaling on after this. We only have 2 journal topics today, but the first one of our 2 journal topics, whenever you're ready, is what is something that you thought you couldn't do that you have done? What is something that you thought you couldn't do that you have done? What I can't thought have you overcome in your life? And whatever pops into the brain, maybe there's multiple things that pop into the brain. You can always come back later and add to this list, because reminding yourself of how far you have come is so important. It's easy to forget that we once thought we couldn't do something. So again, what is something that you thought you couldn't do that you have now done? And our second and last journal topic, what can you replace I can't with in your mind that will help change your perspective? So I had given some examples earlier, but what in your mind, what resonates with you that you can replace that word I can't with? You know yourself best. What can you replace I can't with in your mind to change your perspective? Like I said, I use I've never tried or I haven't been able to. Because a lot of the times when we can't do something, it is again because we've never tried. It doesn't mean we can't. We may have never been given the opportunity to try. So what can you replace I can't with in your mind to change your perspective, to be more encouraging, be more mindful, be more positive? Remember that negative self-talk is so potent. But the one thing that's even more potent than that is positive self-talk, and making sure that the way we talk to ourselves, like we went through a few weeks ago, is like that inner best friend. We're talking to ourselves like we're our own cheerleaders. There's enough space in the world for people to talk down and say that I can't mentality. We should not be the ones saying it to ourselves. So I hope that going forward from all of these classes, you guys have taken some tools, added them to your little tool belt, because believe me, that tool belt is massive. It never runs out of space. So thank you all for coming tonight. Continue journaling on those if you'd like, share your responses, and I will give it right over to Rima and Brian. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Chelsea. That was great. I wrote it down. This time I had some paper.
Yeah.
Something that I couldn't do before, but I have done now is snowboarding. It was on my bucket list, and I actually became pretty good at it, which I was shocked about.
You are an awesome snowboarder. You shred it like every week.
Yeah, now the season's over and I'm like, what do I do on Fridays?
Hike a 14er like you've done. Crazy
I just
person.
got back from a hike, but it was not a 14er.
That's a good example for me of I would not say that I can't do a 14er, but I've not had the opportunity yet.
They're hard.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
I can try to do a 14er.
Mm,
That
Yeah,
will be the
yeah.
that will be the statement I will make.
all anyone can ever do is try.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Make that a postcard.
Right.
You can't fail if you don't try.
That's true. But you can't
You
succeed if you
succeed.
try either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Chelsea,
Um,
quote that you say, it's like, if you can't or you can, you're right, or something like that.
Oh yeah. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
I like
That's
that.
a good one. I love that one.
So one of my biggest eye openers that came to mind during the meditation was obviously being a little bit older than you guys, but only a little bit. You know, the age expectancy when I came along was still about 10 years. And
Mhm.
I had the unique blessing in the CF center where I went that there was an adult, well, he wasn't an adult doctor in terms of treating adult patients, but he was an adult with CF treating CF patients, which today with infection control is obviously a big no-no, but that didn't exist back then. And it was such an eye-opener to me in this world of you might die anytime,
Mhm.
have this living, breathing example in front of me of someone with my same disease who could become a doctor
Yeah.
and could help other people overcome CF or deal with CF. And even though there were a couple doctors in the office and he wasn't our treating physician, when my brother and I would come into clinic, he would still bring the two of us to the weight room of the hospital and show us exercises that he did to benefit himself and the effect that it had on his core strength and his posture and his self-esteem and his appetite. And that was probably the biggest eye-opener to me of this mindset that I can't be an adult, I can't have a career, I can't grow old, to why not?
Yeah. And I think, I forget, I said one of the quotes one week, it's, you never know who you're the role model for. Like you
Right.
never know who's looking up to you.
Right.
And that's
But
amazing.
my other example, I think for us in the CF community, for anyone that lives with adversity or innate challenge, that someone saying the words "you can't" has such power because
They have power over us then.
well, the innate tenacity and stubbornness and will to live that we must have in order to live.
Yeah.
Is someone saying you can't is sort of like lighting the fuse and being like, oh yeah, watch this. So
See, ever being stubborn, never.
Right. But when I was starting the CFLF and kind of figuring out fundraising and trying to go fundraise on a bigger scale, I decided I was going to ride my bicycle from Canada to Key West as like a major fundraising and public awareness campaign. And I remember distinctly my father saying, "Why would you do that? You can't." And in my head, and no, actually out loud, I said to him, "Keep telling me I can't. And that's all the more reason I will."
Yes.
And to, step off the bike in Key West at the end of US Route 1. And at that same moment, my phone ring and it be my dad on the other end saying, "You did it."
Oh, that's
It was
so
like mind blowing. Again, that transformation of your mindset, that whether it's living to be an adult with CF, whether it's living to have a career with CF, whether it's allowing yourself to be loved enough and find a relationship of vulnerability and trust that can be a partner in life, to buy a home, to
Mhm.
plan for your financial future and retirement. There's
Mhm.
no reason you can't, unless you truly believe you can't.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree.
But this class really resonated for me, Chelsea. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for sharing all of your amazing thoughts. That I think that benefits so many people. And I completely agree that whenever someone says that they can't, it's like a fork. You can use it to light your fire, or you can use it to keep you down. And I think so many of us in the CF community are like, oh yeah, watch.
Yeah,
Right. And I know Emily had to bounce a little bit early from the meeting, but I was hoping to pick her brain a little bit too, because I know in her life with CF, there was some major transformation, and I think some major forks in the road where you have to make that decision of saying, I can and I will, versus succumbing to the mindset of I can't or I won't.
And it's hard. It's not a hard thing.
Right. So this has been great, Chelsea. Thank you so much again. I know you've got to go a little bit early today. And really, your message and your classes and your practice has been such a core part of the STROLO-University, helping the CF community to focus on living stronger and living longer. And that's as much mentally and emotionally and socially as it is physically. And you bring such a spotlight to that. And I'm so appreciative of your doing that. And I really hope we can have your involvement continued in our fall semester.
Oh, you stuck with me.
Great. We're blessed with you, not stuck with you.
Well, thank you guys so much for the opportunity. It's been amazing. Yes, it will not be the last time you see me.
Great. Good.
for today.
So I'm going to stop the Facebook live stream. So goodbye to our viewers on Facebook. And after I stop Facebook, we're going to give the word.
Word, yes.
So you have to be tuned in live to get the word to win a $150 gift certificate to Amazon Prime. So long, Facebook viewers, come join us live, come back in the fall, and we will see you soon. But for those of you on the call, hang on 1 second. Bye on Facebook. All right, so our word is a single letter A. Today's class is sponsored by the letter and the word A.
We need some Muppet.
Exactly. Yeah, or Big Bird. Awesome. Well, thank you again, Chelsea. Thank you, Rima. And I want to do a quick shout out. Thank you again for our very generous sponsors, Chiesi USA, Viatris, Nestle Health Science, Translate Bio, and I have the wrong graphic up, but also Kroger Health Sciences. You guys have been a tremendous support, and please join us tomorrow. We've got a really exciting presentation from Chiesi USA on their CF product, Pertzi. So really interested to hear some of the newer and different technologies and treatment options available for the community. And we hope that you all have a great rest of today.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you as well. Be well. Take care. Bye-bye.